Top drop, sit back.
Cruising down the boulevard.
Top drop, sit back.
Yeah, we're reaching for the stars.
Top drop, sit back.
Cruising down the boulevard.
Top drop, sit back.
Yeah, we're reaching for the stars.
Top drop, sit back.
Hey, welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to the show. 9 p.m. Thursday, of course, April 21st. I'm your host, Aaron Trilling. Welcome to the Chelladurai Inc. show. Very special show for us this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Broadcasting outside of South San Diego this evening, in Chula Vista, if anybody's familiar, for our local listeners. Pravin is on with me as well. What can I say? Well, how we always open the show, we do a little sports update. Some interesting things, actually, tonight, folks. In the world of baseball, all-star pitcher Jake Arrieta throws a no-hitter. A no-hitter, complete 9 innings, and actually now I think it's the record for Major League Baseball in quickest attempts to actually throw 2 no-hitters, folks. In his last 11 consecutive regular season starts, he has thrown now 2 no-hitters, the most frequent of any pitcher to ever do. So congrats to Jake Arrieta and his Chicago Cubs. And not only did they win with a shutout no-hitter, they won at a score of 16-0. 16-0. So it's wonderful. Another news. Another news, but not so other news. Our San Diego Padres getting blown out by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the bottom of the 8th. 11-0 Pittsburgh in San Diego. Dodgers wrap it up over the Atlanta Braves 2-1. Mariners over the Indians 10-7. Bryce Harper and company loses to the Miami Marlins, Giancarlo Stanton and team. Miami's going to win 5-1. Boston loses at home to Tampa Bay 12-8. And other games in progress right now. But like I said, the story in baseball today, folks, is Jake Arrieta as he pitches a 16-0 no-hitter, second one in career history, and second one also in 11 starts. So truly wonderful. Other news, basketball is coming up. Basketball is up. Playoffs. Teams that play today. Game 3, Oklahoma City leads the Dallas Mavericks 2-1 after coming into Dallas and destroying them. A score of 131-102. The Toronto Raptors, also on the road, take on the Indiana Pacers. Wrap up Game 3. Toronto leads the series 2-1 as they beat the Indiana Pacers at a score of 101-85. And right now, the Houston Rockets are down 2-0 to the Golden State Warriors, but are winning tonight, Game 3, 91-85. Houston Rockets with 3.5 minutes to play. Tune that in, folks, on TNT. In the MMA world, it looks like Conor McGregor has, in fact, reinstated his retirement. Apparently, he was retiring. I truthfully don't know details. You guys probably know a whole lot more, but it seems as though he is not and will be fighting in UFC 200. Looks like it'll be the rematch between him and Nate Diaz. We will see what will happen there. I mean, geez, Dana White, Conor McGregor. I mean, MMA is at the top of its game right now. I mean, we might not necessarily have the most popular, well-known fighters that have ever fought in the sport, but needless to say, MMA is an all-time just climactic climax, and especially with this whole Conor McGregor thing going on. Again, folks, you guys aren't just joining us, thinking that Conor McGregor will actually be not retiring, but for Brett Favre, and looks like it should be on the card for the UFC 200 against Nate Diaz. Other than that, golf. A couple weeks back, folks, we talked about Jordan Spieth just blowing it at the Masters. That's not any new news. But anyway, that's our little sports update for tonight. Again, MLB playoffs. A little bit about the Chargers, I guess. The Chargers actually down here in San Diego implemented, or are trying even more so, to implement the new stadium initiative. They have a wonderful concept map that was actually dropped today on social media about the potentials, what it could do. I'll just tell you, if anybody lives out here in San Diego, it will be a madhouse downtown. I mean, we thought the gas lamp was just jumping now. I mean, here we have summer coming around. The Padres hopefully going to pick up a streak here, draw some more downtown noise there. And now with the Chargers potentially getting a stadium, along with Petco and the convention center, I mean, I can't imagine, folks. I can't really imagine how much more live it will be down there, and congested, and expensive for that matter. But that's beside the point. We have come a long way as the Chargers were about 2 seconds away from moving to L.A. Now it looks like it's back in the city of San Diego's court as to what will happen. But right now, Plan A, again, is to have the San Diego Chargers new stadium be built just downtown in East Village, right next to Petco Park and the Convention Center. Give you more updates as they come to us. Anyway, Jordan, that's kind of my little take on tonight as far as sports. How you doing tonight? I didn't even ask you how you doing. Did I ask you how you doing? How you doing, Jordan?
Yeah, no, good. I'm doing excellent. Yeah, I'm just happy to be on.
Wonderful. We do have an exciting guest coming on. As I told you briefly, Jordan, I know I kind of got this guy last minute. Wonderful guy. Chatted with him on Instagram. I think I told him I'd call in about 9:10 or so. As far as all the men and women out there, folks, we don't really touch on fitness too much on our show, but it is important to always. I mean, it goes without question. It's always important to, eat healthy, stay fit. Jordan, I just want to know if you could share a couple people that you've actually been recently listening to, like on YouTube, your Kinos and your Changs and your BBCs, and kind of let you maybe just take a couple minutes before our guest arrives, just to really go over some real, for our audience out there that maybe need a mentor or maybe need some, outside external advice just to help them in their cause. Who do you, because you're very knowledgeable in this area, who's really the people out there in the game right now that are really making a name for themselves?
Really, Brandon Carter on YouTube, it's unreal. I mean, the amount of information you can get on YouTube itself, which is where, of course, I'm by no means an expert in this arena, but just from, investing quite a few hours in YouTube fitness homemade videos, I feel like I've gained some interesting insight from Brandon Carter. Kino Body also has a lot of good information. And one of the biggest things from those two guys that I can share on the air without, taking too much time is intermittent fasting. If you haven't heard of it, Google it or just YouTube it, intermittent fasting. But most people in general have a fitness goal of kind of moving the scale in the downwards direction, meaning reducing weight. And intermittent fasting is a way of doing that very efficiently. All you do is get rid of breakfast, more or less. Just get rid of breakfast. But in exchange for getting rid of breakfast, you can eat larger meals in the back end of the day. So in a way, it's almost like a cheat code, to be honest. If you want to find the easy way out, or like kind of an easier way of doing things, skip breakfast, but you have to track your calories. It's annoying and it's unfortunate, but tools like MyFitnessPal help out with that. But in a nutshell, caloric deficit is the only way to lose weight. So you need to consume less calories than you burn. Did I say that correctly? Yeah, consume less calories than you need to burn more calories than you consume. Sorry, I'm switching it up. Yeah.
No,
you need to burn more calories than you consume. But yeah, I mean, that's in a nutshell, intermittent fasting can help you build muscle and reduce fat, body fat, which I think in general, most people, that's the goal of fitness. So intermittent fasting on YouTube, Brandon Carter, Kino Body, they can expand on the subject, but that's kind of what I've really been following as of late and, seeing results to an extent.
Oh, absolutely. Results are why we all do it. It's interesting, Jordan, you talk about the theory of not having breakfast. I was always, you always hear from the time you were small that, breakfast, that's most imperative. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And now kind of science and research is saying through this intermittent fasting that it's really not, that actually it's better to skip because any particular reason, Jordan? Like it's just better to not eat in the morning and carb up later on and once you're awake. I just never heard of that before. It's interesting. You should try it.
Yeah, it's specifically as far as I'll speak to the male population as far as what type of benefits they would receive by skipping breakfast, just because I'm not exactly sure if the same effect is produced in females. But in short, when you're fasting for an extended period of time, meaning you go to sleep at midnight, you wake up at 6 a.m., you've already been fasting 6 hours, you skip breakfast, growth hormone, which is a very important hormone to maintain muscle mass and also to maintain a lower body fat, growth hormone remains elevated when you're in a fasted state. The moment you consume food, your insulin levels will begin to rise. And when insulin levels rise, which is not always a bad thing, but when insulin levels rise from food consumption, your growth hormone is immediately blunted. So, it's just stopping the hormone, which you can benefit a lot from. Growth hormone, actually, people take growth hormone injections to maintain a more youthful type of lifestyle because growth hormone does keep you young, basically. And at the end of the day, that's what, when you skip breakfast, in the beginning, it is going to be horrible. It's going to be straight up, it's going to be a nightmare dealing with making it through the beginning hours of the day because your body is used to burning off glucose and basically finding energy off of glucose. But when you don't have glucose in the body, what does it do? It goes and reaches for those fat stores. So it's a cheat. It's an easy way of doing it. You're not eating, so your body is consuming fat for energy without you doing anything out of the ordinary, depending on your job, of course, how many calories you're expending throughout your day. If you have an active job, you're burning a lot more calories. And if you have a sedentary desk job, it's okay because you're still burning calories from breathing and just doing basically activities. Everybody has a certain set point maintenance level, which is somewhere around, everybody's different, but maybe 1,500 to like 2,000 calories burn, even if you just laid in a bed all day. But I think I deviated from the solution a little bit.
No, don't worry about it. We're actually going to touch on that. We're going to close that out, folks, tonight at our benediction, of course, done by Jordan. But I do want to get to our entrepreneurial spotlight segment, as we always do have, folks. It is the body of our show and really encompasses what we're all about here at the Chelladurai Inc. show. I want to introduce tonight a very special guest. His name is Daniel Casas. He runs a very well done Instagram profile called thoughtsinform, and I'm actually going to have him kind of speak a little bit more about it. He does have a website, thoughtsinform.com. Does motivational videos and inspirational apparel, and we all know, folks, we don't see much of that right now in this day and age. So without further ado, I'd just love to bring on our guest again, Daniel Casas. Daniel, thanks so much for joining the show. You are live, sir.
Hey, guys. Appreciate you guys having me on. Good to meet you, Aaron and Jordan. I heard your last show. Great show you guys are putting on. I really enjoy it, and thankful you guys are having me on to talk about everything.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for being on.
Hey, Daniel, thanks so much.
Go ahead.
Generally, Daniel, we just kind of we have our guests kind of give a background of themselves, and very informal. You can just kind of tell me just a little bit about yourself, how you came to be, where the Thoughts Inform idea came from, and kind of just what you're all about and what your message really conveys. So you have the next few minutes just to kind of give us your little background.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I guess I'll start where I guess you could say the entrepreneurial bug really bit me, which was right at the beginning of my college career. I started studying economics at Florida International University, and I got into, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency.
Sure, sure.
But I got really into cryptocurrencies and economics and finance investments, this kind of stuff, and really just started getting into the finance side of entrepreneurship because I got really excited about the idea of being able to earn money with your money. So I was studying economics and started working at Merrill Lynch and was having a good time with it, but kind of trying to figure out myself and figure out what I was about as I was going through it. And kind of realized that I needed to make a change and get away from, I guess you could say, the corporate lifestyle. I was a little bit part ignorant, part crazy, but I wanted to start right off the bat, you know, as this novel idea as an entrepreneur. And I ended up moving out to Austin, Texas, and I wanted to get started and hit the ground running with Bitcoin. I got over to Austin, Texas, and with no experience, anything like that, obviously I failed pretty hard once I got over there. But it was actually a huge blessing because it led me to a personal development journey where I really just started to read as much as I could and study successful people. And that absolutely lit a fire within me. I just couldn't get enough. After moving to Austin, Texas, I picked up a sales job after failing with the Bitcoin stuff because I wanted to gain more experience in any way that I could in starting a business. I figured sales is a vital part, so I might as well start there. I got a job in sales, and I was studying all these successful people and trying to apply all these principles to my life, and it completely changed my life. I mean, I went from being totally broke and like destitute in Austin, Texas, to doing really well at the job that I was doing. I was selling cars at the time and using the principles that I was learning from, different sales books and personal development books and stuff like that. Greatest Salesman in the World, Og Mandino, that kind of stuff. And it was really changing the way I saw the world, the way I interacted with people, and my results. And it was exciting. It got really exciting. And again, I found myself in a desk job and knowing that I didn't want to be a part of that and seeing that I had all this potential and that everybody else has this same potential. It's just a matter of bringing it out. And I really wanted to find a way that I could help share that information that was bringing it out of me so I could bring it out of other people. And I started building a support group of people that were also proponents of this idea that, your thoughts create your reality, that we're all in charge of our lives, our destiny, and we can do whatever we set our minds to. And that support system ended up being packed with my support system in Florida. And I moved from Austin, Texas out to Florida and completely just dove in to thoughtsinform. So I decided the best way that I was going to be able to really share the information was obviously by using the internet and finding some sort of platform that I can get the messages out. And Instagram ended up being, my main way of starting to test the idea. I started putting all of the information, the personal development information that I had gathered together that was helping me, and started creating all these designs and putting them on Instagram. And I started getting some really good feedback. And that led to, I thought, how can I, if people are enjoying the information, how can I get it in some way in their hands and visible to other people? So, like you said, I wasn't really seeing a lot of inspirational clothing out there. I wasn't seeing any brands really that were, I guess, scratching my own itch where it came to like being able to wear inspirational, motivational quotes on a t-shirt. So the Instagram kind of grew into that. And then also wanted to then share all the information that I had found on YouTube, watching lots of videos and all the audiobooks that I was listening to. And now that is where the Success Library is what I'm calling it, on YouTube, my channel for Thoughts Inform, came out of. And right now we're putting together essentially it's like the YouTube watch history over the last year and a half, 2 years, of all the personal development speeches and seminars and that kind of stuff that I really resonated with me, kind of repurposing the content and organizing it, putting it all together so that I can just get it all out there in a coherent, easy to follow platform, which is that channel, so that, people can go on the channel and get inspired and get motivated and learn all this information that has had such a huge impact on my life. So, I mean, that's the basic idea behind Thoughts Inform, and I'm just really excited about it.
Yeah, that's Daniel. That's great. Yeah, I'm just kind of checking it out right now. You have some really motivational quotes and beliefs on here. And how long ago did you say that you started your Thoughts Inform on Instagram?
Instagram, it's been just over a month. I don't think it's hit 2 months yet. I've been thinking about it longer than that, but just recently started coming out with the designs and stuff like that. And just in the last month and a half, I mean, it's had an amazing response. I've gotten all kinds of people reaching out and saying thank you and interacting with me. And I mean, it's been a real blessing, because just being able to find other people that find the information as inspirational as I do has been really eye-opening.
Sure. And you said on the whole inspirational apparel side, you guys, you do custom shirts for people, and you take these designs off of your Instagram and put them on T-shirts.
Yeah, I have done a few designs that were inspired by other people, and I have had people reach out to me and tell me who their inspiration was, or somebody that has really made an impact on their life. And from that, I'll create designs and put those on T-shirts as well. I've done a few like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm all about interacting with like-minded individuals to create things that would be inspiring to them, because I know it's going to be inspiring to other people like them. Mostly it's the designs that I'm putting together are the many teachers that I've found have impacted me the most, and the people that I spend the most time with have impacted them the most. And I mean, there's a ton out there. There's a ton of really brilliant people.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got a lot of them here on your profile. Hey, Jordan, I just give you some time at all if you had a question or two for Daniel, if you wanted to say anything.
Yeah, definitely. Daniel, I'm kind of blown away right now. I didn't get to spend too much time on, on your background and as far as, what you have going on. But I really am, I'm happy. It makes me really happy when I hear, that there are things like this out there, because now I know, that I have somewhere to go and find more information, because that type of information, I'm thankful that, you're out there doing what you're doing. So, it's good to connect with you also, it's really good to connect with you.
Absolutely. And I think what you guys are doing is awesome as well. I mean, I've listened to a couple of your segments now. I know you guys ask everybody what they read. I think that's fantastic. I think it's so vital that we educate ourselves. And I mean, it's been a driving force behind Thoughts Inform, of course, how much I read, or else I wouldn't have any content. So I think that's so cool. You guys definitely have an amazing message to put out there as well. I'm thankful you guys are doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So with that on, go ahead.
Oh, I'm not to cut you off, Jordan. I was just going to say, just with that, I mean, we do like to talk about what people do read, Daniel. You didn't mention The Greatest Salesman of the World. But what are and who was that author, by the way? Who wrote that?
The author of The Greatest Salesman in the World is Og Mandino. O-G Mandino. Yeah.
Okay.
And then...
But anyway, any books at all that really resonated with you over the years that you think are pertinent to, entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. I don't want to bore you guys. I could go on with a really hefty list. But I guess some of the books that have like really resonated with me, obviously, Think and Grow Rich is classic and timeless. It's the absolute essential essence of what I think entrepreneurship and business building is. That's Napoleon Hill.
I'm literally reading that as we speak. It's so funny. We actually touched on it last episode. Yeah, that's so funny. I got it right now. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I try to read that one every day, actually, at least a little bit, not the whole thing. But one of my favorite teachers, Bob Proctor, does read the book every single day. And every time you do read it, it gets better and better, and it clicks even more. So that one, above all others, I would recommend, Think and Grow Rich. Outside of that, I would say from some other teachers like Brian Tracy is one of my role models. He wrote Eat That Frog, which is really, really good on figuring out how to organize your life, how to plan, how to make practical steps to achieve a goal. He lays it out in layman's terms, super easy to understand. That one really resonated with me. That was Eat That Frog. The finance books like Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, those are really good ones. Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk, all of Malcolm Gladwell's books. The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss is, I think, an absolute must for entrepreneurs, because he teaches you how to build a business that you're going to be able to pull yourself away from and have it run almost on autopilot. And then you can, I don't know if you guys have read it, but it's fantastic. Definitely a go-to for entrepreneurs. Have you guys read that?
No, I haven't. I know he has a bunch of 4-hour. He's got the 4-hour work week, 4-hour gym week. I know he's got a whole lot of 4-hour. My cousin is actually a really big Tim Ferriss person, but I have not read any of those. But I do hear he has great work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's phenomenal. And then I would say not too much on business, but really a driving force, and one of the books that's resonated with me the most, like on a spiritual sense, I guess you could say, would be Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. And I'm not one to bring up religion or anything like that controversial, really. It's not necessarily something that's going to, I don't think, be too controversial, but it was a really kind of like a paradigm-busting book for me. It really kind of broke down those barriers of like fear or conditioning that I feel I had when I was younger, just growing up. It kind of just opened up my mind to being a lot less fearful of the world and talking to people and being able to be myself, which has been a huge help in thoughtsinform. It's pretty intimidating coming out with a business and putting your name on it. But that book in particular, Conversations with God, really put things into perspective for me and helped me to be a lot more confident. I would suggest that book as well. But yeah, I don't want to bore you guys with a huge list, but those have been some authors and some books that have really, really helped me a lot.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I know just offhand the ones that you said, I've heard of most of those. I did write down Crush It. And who's the author of Crush It, Daniel?
Crush It is Gary Vaynerchuk. I think he also wrote.
That's right.
Yeah, he also wrote Jab, 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 Right Hook, I think it is. He's like a social media guru. He is like amazing. Yeah, he's invested in Snapchat and all those other social media platforms, and he knows the ins and outs of it. Crush It is one that really elaborates on that and has been a huge help in thoughtsinform and gaining traction as well.
That's great. That's great. And also, kind of two general questions I always ask our guests, Daniel, is, books that obviously influential people in your life. Anybody that you kind of have idolized growing up, wanted to be, anybody out there, like a Steve Jobs, for example, or entrepreneur or no entrepreneur, movie star, non-movie star, musician, anybody that really kind of resonated with you, you just thought, wow, like this guy embodies everything I want to be. I want to mold myself like him, or any influential people in your life, whether mom, dad, doesn't matter. Who stuck with you? Who are the important people?
I would say Jim Rohn. He is one of my biggest role models. He's a phenomenal speaker, and he knows the ins and outs of business as well. And he's delivered some amazing speeches that have been incredibly motivational for me. He's on my YouTube channel. Actually, most of what I've uploaded so far for the Success Library has been Jim Rohn. I would say he is one of my biggest role models because of the way he can communicate his ideas. He finds a way of giving you his philosophy in such a relatable manner that it's so easy to implement it into your own life and test it out and see if it works. And I have, and I mean, I revisit his speeches and his seminars, I would say, on a daily basis as well. He's been a huge role model for me, and probably Bob Proctor as well. He is also a speaker, and he has a lot of personal development seminars and speeches that you can find on YouTube. And he finds a way of describing what really holds us back. He has an excellent way of describing paradigms, habits, and what is holding us back from success most of the time. And he illustrates it in a way that I haven't seen anybody else illustrate it, that really kind of made the picture in my mind for me to understand what he was trying to communicate. And he's helped me a lot to understand, important what ideas you're entertaining. It's important what people you're surrounding yourself with, because all that information that's being input into your mind is being stored in your subconscious. And if you allow all that information in that's not necessarily constructive for you, then the resulting expression or manifestation of that is probably going to be negative as well in your life. And that was a huge realization for me that he was able to communicate, Bob Proctor. So I'd say Jim Rohn and Bob Proctor definitely have been two of my biggest role models.
Absolutely, yeah. Bob Proctor, I have not heard of, but I will definitely check him out. Jordan, actually, and Jordan can kind of speak on this. Jordan's a very big proponent of Jim Rohn. Jordan, you've read some of his books, I remember. Yes, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's actually on YouTube. Definitely, yeah. I mean, he's such a amazing speaker, or was. Rest in peace. Jim Rohn, I think it was it last year or recently, right? Just a couple years ago, maybe.
Yeah, way too soon. Definitely, no, yeah. Definitely rest in peace. He was amazing. Yeah, Take Charge of Your Life. Is that the one you heard?
No, not Take Charge of Your Life, but The Power of Ambition, the audiobook I have on Audible, and I've listened to it at least 10 times. Like, yeah,
is
that's
it him
a solid
speaking?
one. What's that?
Is it him speaking in the audiobook?
Yeah, it's actually his voice. Yeah, it's not read by anybody else.
Yeah. And the way he delivers it, I mean, it's completely unique. It's not like anyone else, right?
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's so easy to listen to, and he's kind of funny, right? In a way, the way he says shit, it's like so simple the way he says it.
His of courses are so funny. Me and my girlfriend joke about that all the time. He's always saying, "Can you do this? Can you do that?" Of course, we love it. He's fantastic.
He's awesome. Him and I don't know if you listen to Les Brown at all, but Les Brown is another big one.
Yeah, so Les Brown and Jim Rohn, that would be the same kind of category that Bob Proctor would be in. They're all talking about, the law of attraction and thoughts create reality and that kind of stuff. That's my absolute go-to. I can't get enough of that stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I haven't actually listened much to Proctor. I know he had some involvement with The Secret, right? But I haven't
Yeah.
heard any of his presentations.
Well, stay tuned for the Success Library, and I'm going to be uploading some stuff from Bob Proctor pretty soon.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Definitely.
Awesome.
Folks, if you guys are just joining us, we have special guest entrepreneur Daniel Casas on the phone talking about his Thoughts Inform movement. He has an Instagram, Thoughts Inform, just how it's spelled. Check him out. Motivational videos as well as inspirational apparel. Daniel, before we leave, I always like to ask if there's any advice you could shed on our audience, our future up-and-comers of the world, anything that's been passed on to you that you'd like to pass on to them, and anything that's really that you feel would be beneficial for anybody, whether they're beginning something or seasoned in the game, anything that you've kind of stuck with you over the years.
Yeah, sure. I would say read as much as you can, and if you hate reading, listen to audiobooks. It's so easy to find audiobooks online today. I feel like spending your time in the car or traveling or, your downtime essentially, not listening to audiobooks is almost wasting your time. Like, you've got to educate yourself as much as possible, at least in my opinion. And I would say be really careful about what you entertain, what thoughts you entertain, what kind of information you're allowing into your life. So in terms of like spending a lot of time with entertainment, I guess, entertainment shows or games or that kind of stuff, there's definitely a place for it. But if that's, I think when you spend too much time just entertaining yourself, that kind of turns into the only outlet for yourself, and it's not really too productive. I would say just read as much as you can and be careful about what thoughts you entertain. Try to stay productive with it. Be around people that are talking productively and acting productively, more importantly. And yeah, always try to be better every single day, I guess.
Couldn't have said it better. Great three things. George, any last words for Daniel before we let him go tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say, thank you again, Daniel, for joining us, and we'll definitely be connecting, and we'll be keeping up with you on everything that you're doing, so appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'll keep up with you guys as well, and thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Definitely.
Hey, Daniel, you were great. We really appreciate it. Again, thanks so much.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Folks, again, that is Daniel Casas with Thoughts Inform. Do check him out on his Instagram as well as his webpage. Smart guy, sounds like, Jordan. Very smart guy. Knows what he's doing. You and him actually have really a lot of similarities. I was noticing kind of some of the things that he likes to do and say and think. And, he's kind of right in your wheelhouse as far as, the light that you've kind of shed on me. What'd you think of him? Pretty good.
Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, definitely. Great guest, definitely. That actually, reminds me also of last week's guest. I just wanted to give a shout out again to Mr. John Becerra. I know you weren't on for that one, Aaron, but it was an awesome episode. And there was a challenge from John to myself and all of the listeners as far as an activity to do over the week, and now, we'll follow up on the results of that. And in my personal experience, it's crazy because the whole week I actually didn't do it. I'm going to be honest. The whole week I didn't do it. And today, and I've been thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, I need to be more mindful of, that instead of just rush, go. And the funny thing is, today I just decided I'm not going to take my phone with me when I go into stores or into the bank. And within those few minutes of not, and I know this is tough because some people need to stay connected to the phone, but if you can, especially when you're running a business, But if you can get away from the phone for like an hour a day, just leave it in your car and get the hell away from it. I mean, you can really, your whole mind will clear up. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I was in the bank, and that's what the challenge was, to smile at strangers, say hello, be friendly. Be friendly more so than just, the usual kind of autopilot lifestyle, which we've all become so accustomed to. And it's funny, as I was leaving the bank, the security guard outside, I saw him in front of the Bank of America in Imperial Beach in California, and just kind of nodded at him like, hey, and he was just like, oh, hey, and he came over and he's like asking me like, oh, where are you from? Told me he's from Thailand, and it was just so nice to have a conversation with a stranger just in the middle of the day and take time away from the busy type of lifestyle. And he was telling me about how he's from Thailand, and there are a lot of friends and family that he still has back there, and how one day he hopes to go back and visit Thailand. And I mean, it's just amazing. This world is so much larger than we, tend to think of it on a day-to-day basis in our day-to-day lives. But, again, following up on that challenge from John Becerra was just awesome. And now I found the key. There's another cheat code for you. That's the cheat code. If you want to follow up on that challenge, if you feel like alleviating and relieving some stress in your life, limit the amount of time that you're on the phone, checking messages, checking emails, checking updates, doing all those things. Don't forget, this has been very, very not too far back that we never had this. When we were growing up, most people here are at least 80s babies. We didn't have cell phones like this. Life was different. That's not to say don't keep up with the times, because technology, of course, has its benefits. Look at the way we're all connected right now from all over the world. But take time out of your day just to kind of breathe, relax, and step away from the technology.
Well said. Jordan, well said. God, I put you on the spot day in and day out on this show, and you just always deliver, dude. You always deliver. Folks, Jordan Pravin, fellas. Let me get a round of applause.
Thanks.
I should have the audio in the background that is the audio applause. We're going to get that, folks. We're going to get that soon. It's been 32 episodes. Time to step our game up. As we close this show out, folks, I do want to remind you that we are very much musicians as well as entrepreneurs over here, as I would hope aspire all of you to be. Music is great. That's a single invention or discovery, however you want to look at it, that we made. We're actually, Jordan and I are in the studio tonight doing the show together, as well as getting the DK project coming out. He has David Capewood project, Jordan Pravin, of course, producing this with a little collaborative effort with Young Guillotine, aka Kenneth Bride, also in the building. Time now is 9:43. Got about 30 seconds. So about 9:44. Thursday, I'm going to San Francisco. I don't know what you guys are doing, but make a good week this coming week. Enjoy the weekend. Finish it up tomorrow. It's Friday. Everybody be happy, but hit it hard. Don't slack on a Friday. Don't slack on a Friday. Friday's getting shit done day, just like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Come home after a long day's work, working hard, whether you're 9 to 5, whether you're laughing, whether you're out Donald Trumping. I don't know what you're doing. Do it right. Do it hard. I'm Aaron. He's Jordan. We'll see you next week, folks. Enjoy your weekend. Take care.
Cruising down the boulevard.
Top drop, sit back.
Yeah, we're reaching for the stars.
Top drop, sit back.
They see back.
Top drop, sit back.
They be back.
Top drop, sit back.
They see back.
Top drop, sit back.
They be
For me,
back.
women on the side is a given, like a free space. I need them in my life like a fiend needs a free base. Catch me upstairs as I'm tipping my glass high. Head man in charge now, to hell with the last guy. My passion was never up and down, in fact was a flat line. People work for they passion, me I just sing and rap mine. They say do something you love and you'll never work another day. I guess I never went to work, I just stay home and play. Staying constantly lifted and shifted up in my zone was how it is and was for me to come into my own. Living out in Dago where it's nothing but honey heaven has me smiling and staying busy at 27. Booking everywhere I go, running circles round haters. I'm forever on my game like a bunch of 8th graders. The game's to be sold, man, so find that buyer. Separations from the rest, I'm staying higher and flyer.
Top drop, sit back.
Cruising down the boulevard.
Top drop, sit back.
Yeah, we're reaching for the stars.
Top drop, sit back.
Cruising down the boulevard.
Top drop, sit back.
Yeah, we're reaching for the stars.
Top drop, sit back.
They see back.
Top drop, sit back.
They need back.
Top drop, sit back.
They see back.
Top drop, sit back.
They need back.